Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of the MotoGP Fantasy Show. We are heading towards the Sachsenring this weekend in the middle of a back-to-back. Last weekend we were in Assen and we're joined by Colin Vire. This weekend we've got the German GP, of course, and we've decided to bring on a home hero. Lukas Tulovic will be joining us to help us with our fantasy team. Lukas, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, everything fine. Obviously excited for the home GP. Last week in Assen was a pretty good weekend, despite I'm coming back from a crash, from injury, from Mugello. But back in Germany, German GP, and lots of German fans will be here, so it will be a big, exciting weekend.
As you mentioned the last time out in Assen, you were quite close to the podium, just missed out in the opening race, but overall it was a strong weekend for you. What do you expect from this weekend with that home support backing you?
Yeah, it's a track that I really love a lot. I've been here in the junior categories, racing already in last year in Moto 2. Special layout, the shortest circuit on all the calendar, and I'm excited to see how it's going to be with Moto E. But the target has to be on Saturday in both races on the podium.
You are, of course, a Moto 2 European champion, but also a Moto E race winner and a Moto 2 World Championship rider last year. Can you expect that second win to come this weekend?
That's the ultimate goal, obviously, to win at home in Germany in front of all the fans. To hear the German national anthem on Saturday would be such a special thing for me, for all the fans, for the team, obviously, also German team. So would be really special, and sure, my target is to be on the podium, but to win, for sure, I will take it.
Great stuff. So, without much further ado, let's get down to business. And the reason you're joining us here is to pick the MotoGP fantasy team for the German GP. So, last time out, we had Colin Vire, the Moto 3 title contender. He actually finished on the podium in his home GP. Of course, you're a home rider here. If you like omens, it might be a good sign for you. But Colin left us with Marc Marquez and Marco Bezzecchi as our gold riders, and Pedro Acosta, Jack Miller as our silver riders, with Aprilia as our constructor, and our team being Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. So the good news, Lukas, is we get to change two of our either riders, team, or constructor, and we also have a remaining salary of 2 million to play around with. So let's take a little look through some of the riders we think could be in contention this weekend. So Lukas, with you, of course, it is the Sachsenring. There's only one rider we can start with. That is Marc Marquez. What do you think is possible for Marc this weekend at his favourite Sachsenring? Do you think he can get that first win with Gresini Racing?
I really think so. I mean, when Mark came into Ducati, it took him a bit of time to get up to speed, but now he's there definitely, super close already to win, like in Austin, one a track that suits him really well. And I really think that this weekend is going to be his first victory, so I will leave him in the gold riders for sure.
Perfect. And then we have Marco Bezzecchi. It's not been the perfect season. He hasn't quite reached the heights of last season when he finished third in the championship. He was brought in. He typically goes quite well around Assen, but unfortunately didn't experience the best of weekends. Is he a rider potentially you might like to change out?
Maybe yes, but he was fourth here last year in the race, so I will think about it a bit more. But maybe we change Marco. But yeah, last year fourth position in the race, so uh, yeah, he's under pressure maybe.
Yeah. And then two more riders just to quickly go through. Pedro Acosta, the Gas Tech 3 rider. It's his last opportunity to become the youngest ever Premier Class race winner in the World Championship. Are you backing him to succeed this weekend ahead of Marc Marquez, ahead of Pecco Bagnaia and Jorge Martin?
It's gonna be a tough one for him to win. Not impossible, but I don't think so. I think Silva is a good place for him this weekend. I will leave him there, but I will not put him on the victory. So for me, the favorite is Mark.
Okay, and then very quickly we'll touch on Jack Miller. He's one of the cheaper options, as you can see, at 1.2 million, but he does go quite well around the Sachsenring. Hasn't been the perfect season for him, but I believe he was on the Tissot Sprint podium here last season with the KTM, and the KTM has a habit of doing well around the Sachsenring. So, just Before we go on, we also have Red Bull KTM Factory Racing as our team and our constructor choice of Aprilia. Would you be happy to leave them, or would you be looking to switch up maybe?
I would leave Red Bull KTM to as a team with Jack, who's been performing well around here. I think Brad will do a solid job as well. Normally strong on Sundays. Aprilia, I would change them to Ducati because they are so strong this year, and I think they will score the most points this season. I mean, Merrick been unlucky a few times. I think also in past years around the Sachsenring with the problem of the right height device, I remember. But I think Ducati is going to be the best constructor for this weekend.
Okay, so let's begin with that then. We'll take a look at the constructors available to us. So as you can see, Ducati come in at 4.9 million, quite a significant amount above their rival manufacturers. Aprilia at 2.6, KTM at 2.9, Honda and Yamaha at 1.5 and 1.6 respectively. So if we were to change out, and just for people viewing at home, we have a remaining salary of 2 million. So if we were to take that and add it to Aprilia, that would leave us at 4.6 million, which leaves us just a little bit short of Ducati as our manufacturer. So we'll have to do some gymnastics, let's say, in our budget and change things around. So running through the riders, we mentioned Marco. You wanted to keep Marco as a potential rider to change out, and we've got Pedro and Jack. So what would you like to do here? Which rider would you like to take out immediately?
Yeah, it's a big thing of the budget. Obviously, we have to stay inside the budget, so maybe we can have a look further down on the riders sheet. Pecco is at 3.6. He's gonna be Pecco is at 4.8. Also expensive. Winner last time out. Gonna be fast this weekend, of course. Difficult with the budget.
Yeah, so we can take a little look down at perhaps some of the more budget-friendly options that are available. Starting at the bottom, we've got Jack Miller already, Joan Mir, Augusto Fernandez, Zarco, Savadori is there as well, as are Alex Rins, Taka Nakagami, Luca Marini, Stefan Bradl, your compatriot, is their potential option if you're feeling like romanticizing a home weekend to get a German rider in there. Stefan Bradl is available to us. While we also have, who else? Franco Morbidelli and Miguel Oliveira, Quartararo and Fernandez all come in at under 2 million. So do any of those riders tickle your fancy to replace Marco Bezzecchi?
I think Quartararo could be an interesting option. 1.9 million is just a bit under the budget of Bezzecchi, but he was strong last weekend, and I think this is a track that could suit Yamaha and Fabio as well.
Okay, so let's take out Marco Bezzecchi for Fabio Quartararo. So I still think that will leave us a little bit short for Ducati as our manufacturer, but we can have a look at some of the other options available. So that gives us a remaining salary of 2.2 million plus whichever rider or team or constructor we remove. So if we were to do it with the constructor, that will leave us at 4.8, which is just short again of our constructor. So do you have your heart set on getting Ducati in as the constructor, or will we look to change riders again?
I think then we're going to change riders again, and we change maybe something for Jack Miller. That's difficult with the budget.
Yeah.
Or we change, if we have so much budget left, we change Fabio to, I don't know if we put Pecco in, it's going to be tight as well.
Yeah, Pecco at 4.8, Jorge at 4.9. Of course, Jorge did the double here last year with Pecco on the podium in both races. So Pecco, as you mentioned, 3 in a row. He's a rider in very, very hot form, as it says here, a rider on fire for both of these. One suggestion, if I may do so, is I saw somebody here that may offer Franco Morbidelli. So if we were to put in Franco on the Prima Pramac Ducati, still to be on the podium, with his Ducati this season, but he has put in some encouraging performances over the last number of weeks. If we were to put him in place of Marco Bezzecchi, then that gives us the budget for Ducati. Alternatively, we can stay with Aprilia and take out two of the riders, another rider, and try and get a more expensive rider in there. So, what do you think?
Then I would take the option with Franco and put Ducati in as a manufacturer. Yeah.
Perfect. Let's try that. And then we'll take out our constructor. And we can add in, I hope I've done my maths right here, Lucas. I'm not quite sure. I'm not very good at maths. But yeah, that has worked out. So our constructor is Ducati. Our team, Red Bull, KTM, Factory Racing. And as things stand, our gold riders are Marc Marquez, Franco Morbidelli, and then silver, Pedro Acosta and Jack Miller. And just a reminder for the viewers at home that it's double points for a gold rider and, well, normal points for a gold rider and half points for a silver rider. So would you like to make any changes with gold and silver riders?
Maybe we can change Franco and Pedro.
Yeah, so first of all, I'll confirm this trade. Ooh. We've had a glitch in the system, sorry, bear with me, and I'll re-add them in. So Franco Morbidelli, we want to add in here. And we'll add a constructor of Ducati once again and make our trade. Ooh, we seem to have a glitch in the system at the moment, but we can fix it afterwards, Lucas. We won't hold up your time, but we can imagine that it's going to be Franco Morbidelli in here. If we can just try it one more time. Three's the charm, as they say. And we'll make the first trade. Yeah, okay, so there's currently a glitch with it, but we will fix it afterwards. So apologies about that, Lucas. And as I said, we won't hold you up. But as you mentioned, we can change Franco Morbidelli for Pedro Acosta and make Pedro our gold rider. As we mentioned, Pedro is chasing down the title of youngest ever Premier Class race winner. So it feels kind of apt to have him in the gold team against Marc Marquez, who he would take that record from. Okay, so we will fix this afterwards. Lucas, thank you very much for your time. And just ahead of the weekend, it's of course a big weekend in Germany, not just for the German GP, but Spain are playing Germany in the quarterfinal of the Euros. How excited are you about that?
Yeah, very excited. Very excited. I bought a shirt from Füllkrug. Is one of our best men to make the goals, and I really hope that he's gonna make the important and deciding goal against Spain, and I hope that we're gonna win the match in Germany.
Very good. Do you have a score prediction?
I think it's going to be really, really tight battle between Germany and Spain. So I will go with 3 for Germany and 2 for Spain.
And how many goals from Füllkrug?
He's going to make 2 of them.
Perfect. A good traditional number 9. It's good to see them coming back in football. So, Lucas, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck this weekend. And, of course, best of luck in the match tomorrow. And we will talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot.
Perfect. We'll talk to you soon, Lucas. Thank you for joining us. So, not as you can see, because we have a little glitch in the system. I will try to fix it one more time. But Lukas Tulovic has opted to put Marc Marquez as his gold rider with Pedro Acosta. Franco Morbidelli is our mystery rider here. I will try add him in one more time just to see if the glitch has resolved itself. While he also opted to put in a constructor that is Ducati. So this is the team. He's also changed Franco Morbidelli for Pedro Acosta one last time. Will it work? It hasn't worked, so we will get a proper version of that up for you on our social channels shortly after this broadcast has ended. But a recap then, it is Marc Marquez, Pedro Acosta on the goal team of this weekend's MotoGP fantasy team, with Franco Morbidelli and Jack Miller as our silver riders. Our team is Red Bull Factory KTM, with our constructor, not Aprilia, it's Ducati. And as mentioned, just a glitch in the system means we can't display it for you right now. But what we can display are some of the amazing prizes up for offer. So, our season competition prizes are: first place receives a 2023 World Champion signed replica helmet. That will be from Pecco Bagnaia. Second place, a PlayStation 5 with the MotoGP 24 video game. And third place for the season, overall season, is a Tissot T-Race MotoGP limited edition chronograph. While there are always weekly competition winners, and our weekly winners will receive tickets to 2 MotoGP tickets to any GP of their choosing. So that's it for another episode of the MotoGP Fantasy Preview. This week's guest was Lukas Tulovic. I'm Chris Jordan, and we will leave you there. Thank you for joining us.